You're winning, you're winning, you're winning. And then they turn it around. They're crying. You're apologizing. You're thinking, what the fuck just happened? How am I losing this shit? I had you on the ropes. You feel so dumb. You got to go for a walk. And you're just thinking, how did I lose again? How did I lose again? And then you figure it out. It makes you feel stupid. And then you see some bald idiot with a giant orange mustache. And you're like, you know what? Why don't you take some of that shit? You take some of that fucking anger. Yeah. I feel so stupid that I got mad at that woman. I shouldn't have got mad at her. I should have bought her a beer. Just listen to her troubles and had empathy and be like, that's not your fault. You married a woman. I did it too. You're not going to win. There's no winning this. Yeah. I'm telling you, if you don't believe me, do a little people watching. Take a look at the look of the average lesbian's face. All right? I don't mean a lesbian in her 20s. She's got a whole life ahead of her. She's got Christmas in her eyes, right? I mean a lesbian about 35, 36, starting to settle into what the deal's going to be, right? And then look across the bar, find a married guy about the same age. Look at the look on his face. Look at the look on her face. Go back to his face. It's the same fucking look. Yeah. And then look at gay guys. Some of the happiest people I've ever met in my life. They're almost too happy. It's like, hey, how's it going? They're like, hi! Almost floating across the room with that lack of estrogen just yanking down your fucking dreams. Now look, it might be a front. I'm not saying all gay guys are just blissfully happy, but it's looking like a pretty good time to me. Dude, there's some of the most positive people I've ever met in my life. Any idea you have, they support it. They're just like, yes, yes, queen, yes, you're fierce, you can do it. Lesbians are up at the bar like a bunch of jaded cops. That's all fucking bullshit. What the fuck was I thinking? U-hauling after 10 days, moving in. What the fuck was I thinking? She's crazy! No, I'm telling you. I think married men and lesbians need to start hanging out more. And we got to put our heads together and try to solve our common problem, the women in our lives, so we can somehow attain the perceived happiness of the average gay dude out there. Yeah. So, if you believe in that shit, I'll give you some advice. If you're going to expand your fucking world of friends, I'll give you some advice. You can't just hang out with any lesbian. All right? You got to make sure you're hanging out with the dude in the relationship. Right? And by dude, I'm not saying she's manly. I'm not being ignorant. By dude, I just mean she's the one that gets blamed for most of the shit. Right? Because no relationship is balanced. Somebody is getting away with more. Somebody's drafting behind the other. It's like a bike race. Somebody else is taking the fucking weather in the face. Right? Somebody else is fucking right behind. Oh yeah, it really is wet. It's kind of hiding under your fucking poncho. Male, female, 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 they, whatever the fuck it is you're into. Every relationship, there's the person that does the dishes and the person that lets them soak. Right? They don't let them soak. They know you're going to do them. They're just waiting you out. And after a while, you can't fucking take it anymore. They just sit there. You got to go out and you start doing it. And then what do? They sit in the other room and they wait like they don't know what you're doing. And they wait till they hear pots and pans. And that's when the show starts. That's when they come running in like, what? Oh, I was going to do those. What? And you're like, no, you weren't. They've been sitting there for 8 hours. I got my hands in room temperature water with scrambled eggs floating around. Don't gaslight me. You're a fucking animal. You were raised by animals. Get out of my sight. Don't yell at me! Right? Yes. Every relationship has the person that will take the trash bag out of the trash barrel and do a little tie it off, and then leave it slumped against the counter like it took two behind the ear in a mob hit. And then there's the person that actually picks it up and takes it out to the curb at night and puts it in the trash can, right? My wife's hilarious, man. I love her, but she's got some of the worst excuses ever. I'm like, why don't you ever take out the trash? She goes, I would, I'm just afraid of coyotes. I'm afraid of the coyotes. It's like, so am I. So am I. They're rabid dogs. They hunt in packs of 2s and 3s. You don't do it because you don't want to do it because you know I'm going to do it. Just get the fuck away from me, please. No, I'm telling you. So, anyway, I know I said a lot of divisive shit here tonight. So before I get out of here, I want to... Let's bring the room together. It's a very divisive time. Everyone wants to feel safe. Let's do a nice, normal, mainstream topic so everybody can drive home happy, no fights, all right? Sound good? All right, great. Let's talk abortion. There you go. Everybody has an opinion. It's my body, it's my right. Well, then fucking drive to Arkansas, bitch! Right? Everybody has an opinion. As do I. And I apologize that you're going to have to listen to mine. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I have a really weird take on abortion. I'm going to tell you that right from the get-go, okay? I'm 100% pro-choice. Always have been. Ladies, I said it was weird. For the love of God, stop getting in the trunk of the car. Wait to the end. You're supposed to vet me first. Woo! Fucking feet out the sunroof. I said I had a weird take. Pro-choice always makes sense to me because I don't like people telling me what to do. And I was just like, it's your body. Who the fuck am I to tell you what to do with your body? So that always made sense. All right? However, I still think you're killing a baby. See? That's where it gets weird. Like, I sit on the fence and the whole thing makes sense to me. Whatever anybody's saying, like, don't tell me what to do. It's my body, my choice. That's right, man. She's right. Leave her the hell alone. Why are you killing a baby? Well, I mean, there is that. You know? I mean, if we're going to be honest, that is the whole purpose of the procedure. You know, you're not going in there because you got an earache. You're going in there because you're like, I got a baby in me, get the fuck out of here. Right? You walk in with a baby, you come out without one. What happened to the baby, right? Something fucking happened. So, pro-choice people are like, well, it's not a life yet. It's not a baby yet. If you do, I don't know what they say. Before you do it the first Thursday or the last Tuesday, you spin around all the time. They dance between the raindrops. It's not a baby yet. That's what they say, which may or may not be true. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I'll tell you, my gut tells me that doesn't make sense. It's not a baby yet. That would be like if I was making a cake and I poured some batter in a pan and I put it in the oven, and then 5 minutes later you came by and you grabbed the pan, you threw it across the floor, and I went, what the fuck? You just ruined my birthday cake. And then you were like, well, that wasn't a cake yet. It's like, well, it would have been. If you didn't do what you just did, there would have been a cake in 50 minutes. Something happened to that cake, you cake murdering son of a bitch. Right? Now, before all you pro-life people get excited, I think it's great you're killing your babies. It's fantastic. Help Mother Nature out. There's too many of us. It's been 130 degrees out. Animals are going extinct. There's plastic in the fucking ocean. We don't need any more fucking people. And especially, if you're honest with yourself, have you done anything great with your life? Is the person you're banging doing anything great? The answer to both of those questions is no. What are the odds you're going to make a great person? I'm not saying you're going to make a bad person. You're just going to make another person that doesn't go when the light turns green because they're staring at their fucking phone. All right, I'm out of time. You guys were awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, you guys have been a great crowd. I appreciate you sitting here with us. We're going to bring out the next act. You guys ready? Good. Your final comedian of tonight. You guys all know him. He's hilarious. You've heard him numerous times on the Opie and Anthony show. Show him some love. Bill Burr.
All right, thank you. Jesus Christ. Thank you very much. How are you? Thank you. Yes, thank you very much. I'm becoming a psycho. I've realized that about myself. I am. I watch conspiracy theory and slap fights till 2 a.m. on YouTube, Yeah, I start piecing shit together. I'm becoming that guy. I'm like that guy, you sit there, you're sitting there drinking in a bar and all, some guy's cool, you're talking about the game, then all of a sudden he's just like, there's no gold behind our currency. You realize that? You're like, oh yeah, that's great. Pick up your drink, just fucking walk away. No, that's what I'm becoming. Totally into conspiracy. That's why I think Barack Obama is going to win the election. I think they're going to let him win because they're in the process. Yeah, they're in the process of bankrupting this country, and I think that they need a black guy to blame it on. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Dude, it'll totally feed into the rednecks. They'll be like, you see what happened? Dude, he's only half black. Well, that's the half that did it. That's what happened. I bet the white half was saying. That's what, see, I'm just fucking losing people. I am. I just look at TV and nothing makes sense to me. I'm sick of them telling me shit is shocking that is completely obvious. Crocodile hunter dies. Oh, can you fucking? Yes, I can totally believe it. It's why I watched the show. I watched it every week because I knew eventually he was going to fucking die, and I wanted to see it. Right? Oh, like that dog, the bounty hunter video, or the phone message he left. People are like, can you believe he left that racist message? It's like, dude, look at him. Look at him. Some redneck with a mullet down to his ass. He drives a pickup. He's got the gloves with the fingers cut off. Yeah, who would have thought he had a couple of fucked up ideas rolling around in his head, Dude, you know what would have been shocking? If he could play the cello. That would have been shocking, right? Yeah, then you'd be sitting there like, goddamn, look at Doc. Here it is. I thought he was some racist on his way to a steak and shake, and he's busting out a little Beethoven. God damn, I owe this guy an apology, God, I'd love to see his iPod. I can't imagine the eclectic mix of music. This is how much time I spend alone on the road, man. I actually spent so much time alone on the road, actually contemplated milk to the point I can't even fucking drink it anymore. Sitting there drinking, like, man, this stuff is great, tastes awesome, Then I started thinking it comes out of the carton, and I just did the police work. It comes out of a cow, and I'm like, I am fucking suckling from another species. We have such a crazy relationship with cows. You ever think about that? No, you can nurse from it, you can eat it, right? You can tip it over when it's sleeping, but if you fuck it, you're going to jail. All right, I'm thinking about getting a dog, everybody. I am. No, I'm at the point. Nothing alive is dependent on me. I gotta get out of this tailspin, man. So I'm thinking about getting a dog. My girlfriend wants me to adopt a dog. She's like, you want to adopt a dog? We should rescue one. You want to do that? I'm like, no, I don't. She's like, why not? I go, because I think a lot of those dogs they're a little fucked in the head. Yeah, how do you think they ended up down there? It's like, dude, that's not a pet store. That's like doggy death row, all right? Why don't we just go to a prison and adopt an inmate on the off chance that maybe they didn't commit the crime, just roll the dice? Dude, fuck that. I want a brand new 2008 Bulldog, all right? I don't want some 1995, half a Labrador. It's got part of its ear chewed off, Every time I go to use the toaster, it starts freaking out. Because his last owner hung him from the ceiling fan every time the Jets didn't cover the over, Dude, that is an animal. That thing could kill you. If a squirrel wanted to fuck me up, if it just started running at me, by the time I processed, is that a rat? Is that mechanical? By the time I figured it out, it would have ran up my leg and just taken chunks out of my ear. Then I got to tell that story for the rest of my life, sitting in a bar. Dude, what happened to you? A fucking squirrel, right? Never get laid again. That's what I'm saying, right? I get one of those crazy dogs, get up at 3 a.m. to take a leak. Right, I'm shuffling to the bathroom, and that's the exact moment his previous owner used to come home shit-faced and beat the crap out of the dog, right? I got no clue. I'm just, sitting there shuffling to the bathroom. Meanwhile, the dog's getting all amped up, like, fuck this shit, man. I promised myself I wouldn't let this happen again, all right? It's time to man up, man up. Ah! It's flying at me. Takes a big chunk out of my neck. Then what? I'm laying on the ground bleeding. What are they going to do with the dog? They're going to take him right back down to the prison like some repeat offender, have shackles on him and stuff. He's just sitting there hopping back in. We knew you'd be back. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Get me a milk bone, Wheel him in like Hannibal Lecter with that lampshade around his neck. I got to work on my temper, though. Something I really got to do. I let like the thoughts just spin away, you know? I was on a plane the other day. I actually had the urge to elbow an old lady in the face. It was like compelling. It was unbelievable. You know, when you go to get off a plane, there's like rules when you go to get off the plane, all right? It goes row by row by row. And this lady was all like, ooh, I'm 90. I get to cut everybody, right? So I'm competitive. I start fucking boxing her out, right? Start bringing down like the overhead luggage, you know? So she just starts like waddling around me. And all of a sudden I just feel my elbow like, dude, you're going to take this shit? This is ridiculous, man. The whole half of the plane is watching it. Come on, man. Come on, man. Dude, we got a wide open shot. Just real light. Poof. You know, you got to hit it that hard. And then you can play it off. I'm literally talking to my elbow like, dude, come on, man. We can't do this shit, all right? This chick's like 95 years old. We can't do it. And I thought I had my body under control. And she got like to right about there. And then I felt my foot like, dude, we could still trip her. We could still trip her. Just throwing that out there. All right, I'm out of time. You guys were awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bill Burr, round of applause for Bill, man. Great. Did you have a nice time tonight? Thank you guys, and I really mean that for supporting this show. Let me thank you so much for being a part of it and providing the theme song. I love you.
Anytime.
Thank you guys very much. We'll see you again. I appreciate it.
It's nice to be back here down in the South, man. I had a real weird experience last time I came down here. I was in Nashville, right? Sort of an awkward social situation, right? I'm sitting at this bar. There's this white dude sitting like 2 stools away. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. And that Terrell Owens story was in like sports news. So I try to make conversation. I'm like, man, look at this guy. This guy just signed a $40 million contract. He's already bitching, man. How much money do you need to make? And the dude looks at me. He's like, you know what I say? And then he looked over his shoulder, which I now know is the telltale sign that the N-word is coming, and it's coming hard. Oh, yeah, it's not going to be pronounced with the A. It's going to be with the R. And he hit the R. He, like, stuck the landing. There was, like, a dismount. Klan members high-fiving in the background, like doing the wave. Just out of nowhere. So now, immediately, I'm looking over my shoulder like, dude, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? I'm waiting for, like, this hail of black fists to come raining down on top of me. I hate when people do stuff like that. That dude made me part of, like, a potential ass-kicking that I had nothing to do with. You don't do shit like that. He just had that word, hot potato, just threw it in my lap. Like, trying to pass it down to the next white dude. I hate when people do that, man. You know, it's like, dude, feel me out first. Ask some questions. Do you like to fish? Have you ever fucked your sister, right? I start rattling off answers, then you go old school. You give me a pamphlet, you tell me about your militia. Don't just dive into it. That dude was one of the angriest people I ever met. I should have known that word was coming, because he was just watching Terrell, right? Anytime I would bring up, look at man, that guy's talking trash, he would just like flip out. He won't shut up! You know those people get like so mad they're not even looking at you? Their eyes are up, you just shut up and play the game! You know what's funny? I don't even like Terrell, but now I love the guy. Because every time I see him talking trash, I know this idiot in Nashville is just losing his mind, like kicking over his kitchen TV. Shut the fuck up! I like violence, man. I am. Not like when it happens to me or if I see it live. I like watching it on TV, you know? Watching people, you know, get attacked by animals. Just get blasted in the face or something, you know? Like, I'm a huge sports fan. You know my favorite, like, moment of, like, the last year was in sports? That Detroit Piston, Indiana Pacer bench clearing brawl. Wasn't that great? That was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. I was so confused when I watched ESPN that day. They were like, that was absolutely disgraceful. Basketball fans, they just must be... I'm sitting there looking like, I'm a basketball fan. I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed watching out-of-shape civilians get the shit kicked out of them by professional athletes. It was fascinating. And I think as sports fans, we kind of had it coming, right? Because how many times you go into a game, right? You got a little too drunk. You started screaming at some dude on the field who could clearly kick the shit out of you, right? If you saw him in the parking lot, you'd be like, hey, can you sign my stamp collection? I think you're awesome. You get in the game, you're all drunk. You're like, you suck, buddy. You're a piece of shit. And they're always calling him up. Come on up here. No, come on up here. Well, they came up there. They did, and they kicked the shit out of everybody. It was great. It was like a cartoon. You're like beating up whole rows of people at once, like. I loved every second. I love how Ron Artest punched the wrong guy. Wasn't that great? He taught that dude a valuable lesson in life. When shit goes down, you don't just stand there like you're watching a movie like, wow, it's coming right at me. Must be in 3D or something. That was a 5'6", 110-pound white dude, had an angry 6'10" black dude running right at him. That had to have been in his top 3 nightmares all time. Right behind getting his dick cut off and being lit on fire. And he just stood there. He's like trying to explain himself. Well, I still have the liquid in my cup, so there's no way I could have. He's an idiot.
I've been battling with my girlfriend a lot lately. She loves to watch the Oprah Winfrey Show, and I love to watch her watch the Oprah Show. And then I wait for Oprah to say something that I don't agree with, and then I take it out on my girlfriend, because I'm a jerk. So, Oprah brings out her first guest, right? She gives her this huge intro. She's written a book, she's been in a movie, and she does the most difficult job on the planet. She's a mother. So immediately I look at my girlfriend, I'm like, really? Being a mother is the most difficult job on the planet? How many moms died on ice road truckers last season? You know, any moms get washed overboard on Deadliest Catch? Now, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but which job would you rather have? You want to scoop crabs up off the bottom of the ocean, hanging off some rusty tugboat, catching that trap to the back of your head every couple of weeks? Or you want to hang out in the sunshine with a couple of rugrats? You know, you can send them to bed anytime you want on some trumped-up charges. Yeah. Trumped-up charges, yeah, because you want to have a drink and watch The Price is Right. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. No, maybe it is. Maybe it is the most difficult job. I mean, I thought roofing in the middle of July as a redhead. You know? I thought that was a difficult job. But evidently, these mothers, they're bending over at the waist, putting DVDs into DVD players. I don't know how they do it. How do they do it? Oh, the way they push that stroller with the round wheels. Yeah, and the baby in there. It's the most difficult job on the planet. Going to war, pinned down by a sniper. What a joke! It's a joke. You ever burp a baby and forget to put that towel up there? Oh, there's another shirt you gotta wash, right? Oh yeah, lift with your knees and put it in that machine that does it for you. People, any job you can do in your pajamas is not difficult. Sure, it's draining, but come on, man. Being a stay-at-home mom, that's like my dream job. No boss, no time card, no taxes. You're off the grid. Hanging out all day, making grilled cheese sandwiches. Giving a puppet show, you dress like a dragon. Then some other adult comes home and gives you money. Yeah. You got to. There should be a high top bar here, like potato skins. This is very Applebee's going out of business. Yeah, you have like that. I don't know if it's me, but you're so happy. Sometimes it bothers me. Like I get actually anxiety around people as happy as you. It's like
is that right?
I can't hit the ball back, dude. I can't sustain you coming to the net with your happiness. I'm just like, this is over. He's gonna smash it right at me.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Can these people see us as they walk by?
I think it's tinted, but yeah, they can
See,
kind
that'd
of
be weird. Huh? It's like on the Good Day show, you know?
crouch a little so they can't see us.
Yeah, those sad people who show up to the Good Day show at like 5 in the morning, just stand there.
Signs.
Yeah, hoping Ethel sees them.
Like from Kansas all the time. Yeah. Bill, thanks so much for being here. I love this show. You're one of my
thank you.
favorite comedians. I'm excited to talk to you.
Well, I'm excited to be here. These chairs are horrific. This is designed for like, I don't know what age. It's not like 6 to 8, like when you're 11. This is like the perfect size. It's not quite adult size. It's not kid size. I already slouched. It's going to be a bad interview, dude, and I'm blaming the chair.
I slouch or go down like this or
All right.
cross the legs. Bill, are you the head writer on the show, or how do you work in the writers' room on the show? Because you write your stand-up specials, you know, obviously you're a writer, but you've never really written on a sitcom before. If you go through your credits, you hadn't really been on a show before.
Why'd you have to bring that up? Just right out of the gate, he goes negative. Never really saw you write on anything before, Bill. There was all these other nice things on your IMDb page I could have brought up, but I noticed this one glaring thing that you've never done. And right out of the gate, was it because I made fun of the chairs? I'm sorry. No, I'm not the head writer. Mike Price, the great Mike Price. I have to say that he beats me in the writer's room. The great Mike Price from The Simpsons. He's the head guy, and I'm one of 10 in there, pitching jokes and that type of stuff. So, yeah, that's what I do in there.
Were you nervous
I'll be sure to have that on my IMDb page for the next time.
No, I love the show, and I was wondering if you were nervous getting in there with a group of writers, since you've been sort of the lone writer of all of your work for so long.
Oh, no, by no means did I want to do this by myself. I mean, you need all of that help. Like, I had an idea to do something like this on my website, just do little 5-minute vignettes, because I used to tell family stories when I first started out doing stand-up, and everybody laughed when I was the young comic. And then as I became the older comic, you know, and the helicopter kids came in, and everything was labeled, and people wore helmets when they rode bicycles, and everything was considered bullying, those same stories didn't get laughs anymore. Everybody was sort of groaning like, oh, you know. I'd be like, no, this was funny. I deserve to get beaten for that. So that's when I decided, well, if I animate these things, and I'm a comedian, so I never did it because I have other jobs that I can do to make money. So it wasn't until I got with Mike Price, he turned it into a show. Vince Vaughn's company, too. And
what was your initial, so was this the idea that you initially had going into it, that it would look like this?
No, I had no idea what it was going to look like. This was like, I actually decided to do a cartoon because you can get away with more. And also, I did like those one-camera shoots, and those people work like 12, 14-hour days. There's hair, makeup, and wardrobe. So I thought I was being smart doing an animated show, thinking, oh, this will be easy. You know, they just do a little Flintstone shit, you know? I'll come in and say a couple of goofy things into a mic, and I'll go back out, you know, go see a movie or something. And it's not quite how it works. So this alone, just trying to come up with the look of it, which you wouldn't think, it took us we spent I felt like 6 weeks on noses and eyes. Because you have to have everybody look. It's a weird thing, like animation.
Well, it sets up the world.
Yeah, but you have to come up with like your race of like animated people, you know? So like the Simpsons have the mustard yellow people with the giant eyes. The Simpsons have like the Pac-Man heads. So you got to kind of come up with your own thing that hasn't been done before. So I hope we did. We try to have like we wanted the 70s look the way most of my friends remember it. I mean, the way Hollywood does the 70s is everybody looked like Ron Burgundy or the Bee Gees or something. And that was, that was a group of people. And everybody drove a Pacer, which they didn't. I remember when that car came out, me and my wife was like, me and my mother, what the hell's wrong with me? So that was the ugliest piece of shit I've ever seen. Sorry, I went out to a diner till like 4 in the morning last night. I got into an argument over music. This kid was trying to tell me that the Foo Fighters were better than the Beatles, and I just couldn't handle that.
Wait, what? Let's stick to this for a second, if you don't mind. Who the hell was arguing with you that the Foo Fighters are better than the Beatles?
He said he didn't like the Beatles because when I listened to their music, he goes, it doesn't make me want to get on an elliptical. Like, this is how this guy judges music. Like, if it makes him want to work out. So, like, with that analogy, it's just like, hey, I don't like Mozart because it doesn't make me want to grab ankle weights. You know, and like an idiot, I actually argued with this person. Like, they're that far down the boulevard. Like, I was going to bring him somewhere to where I was. My eggs were getting cold, and I stayed in it. It was such a waste of time. It's just one of those days you wake up at like noon hating yourself. Like I'm decades beyond having these things happen to me, and I still do it.
How did you argue with that? If it started there, how did you argue about
upsetting other people. I vaguely remember saying to some guy there, like, because he was giving me shit for how loud I was being. I finally said to the guy, "Go, dude, who the fuck orders spaghetti at a diner?" And I didn't hear another word out of him, so I was proud of that.
The one person who's excited for the huge menu orders spaghetti. You know?
Yeah, at some point I was going to make a point here. That's why I keep looking at here, and I just realized I'm blocking myself out of the camera. I love that you have the jib camera for this, like it's an action movie. Let's swoop in at these two guys sitting in these unbelievably small chairs. I literally feel like I'm going to fall onto the floor. This is insane. You really went all out with the audience, though. They got full-size adult chairs. Are these like from the 20s before they had like horse tranquilizers in our food? When everybody was like 5'1"? Yeah, Wait a minute, do you own Fab TV?
Yes, how do you know that?
Because you're so friggin' dressed down. You just had that vibe. This is how CEOs, like, I knew it. I was just like, this guy's not
And by the way,
dressed like
I had to take my host
Your
out.
cameramen are dressed better than you are. I knew it. I was just like, this guy's not a reporter. Didn't even know the name of the show. Didn't even know the name of the show. Wow.
Well, you know what? Take it as a call. I wanted an interview. I'm like, no, I got to be in with Bill Burr. You're one of my idols.
So who was you supposed to interview me?
Okay, here.
Unbelievable. What is that? Oh, there you go. Now it looks like an interview.
You know, Mr. Burr, you know, how does it feel?
Okay, I saw, these are the first three movies I saw. I saw For the Love of Benji.
Yeah.
And then we saw Scarface. She didn't know what it was. She knew it was like a gangster movie, but she thought it was like, you know, like Kojak or something. And if she wanted to leave then, I would have, but she didn't. She just is very reserved. She's just kind of like, maybe this will get better. Like she just... Hey, how are you? What's going on? Nice to be here. I thought this was over by 7. I'm a stand-up comedian. I tell shit jokes around the country. It's what I do. And I got to be honest, like, I don't know much about writers. You know, I used to think you guys were a bunch of nerds who couldn't hold up your end of the conversation, you know, with strange shoes. I did. Yeah, but it was going to be yet another pilot that was going to fail. I'd just be sitting in a coffee house trying to talk to these writer, and it just would never connect, you know? So I always end up just staring at their shoes, but like, I don't know. I've always been like an idiot. And, no, I did. I used to think like a pony was a little horse. And there was these people down the street had this pony for like 7 years. And one day I said to my mother, I was like, when's that pony going to become a horse? So, I don't know. I didn't understand what you guys did. Like being in a writer's room. I never really understood like what a fucking hell it is. And the last 2 years of my life, I've spent it in there. And like, I've just never contemplated suicide more times in my life, you know? Every time you get that note, like, you know, I don't think we earned this moment. This isn't in our palette. Like, well, who do I root for? I just always just think, you know, there's always that sweet option. We're on like the 8th floor. I just think it. I think I could hit my car, you know, maybe land right in the driver's seat and be poetic. No, I do. Just sitting in a writer's room all day. I come home, I just stare at the wall. I can't hear my wife's voice. My drinking is off the rails. And I just want to say to all you guys, I really respect now what the hell it is you guys do, because it is, without a doubt, the toughest job out here. So thank you for writing shit for me to say. I'm sick of Obama's wife. Yeah. This isn't some Republican rant either. It's just kind of first ladies in general. You know, I don't know what it is. All throughout my life, with each presidency, like these first ladies, they've just gotten more and more like chatty. You know?
More chiming in, like leaning into the frame, spitting out their ideas. It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? Well, okay, you just nodded there, lady. Let me ask you this, all right? Let's say you had a leak in your house, okay? You call a plumber up. He shows up, and he goes, yeah, I think the leak's coming from the upstairs bathroom. We need to shut it up, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden his wife walks in, who isn't a plumber. And then goes, hey, I'm actually thinking it's kind of pretty high. Wouldn't you be like, with all due respect, shut the up. I need a plumber in this moment. I'll extend an olive branch here. All right, at some point, there's going to be the first female president, right? Exactly. Which means at that moment, you're going to have the first male first lady, right? And when that happens, that dude needs to shut his trap. I don't want to hear a word out of him. I want to hear from the president. You, sir, go do some first lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile and nod during speeches. Go put your own flair, redecorating the White House, right? Which leads you to Michelle Obama, right? Now she's sitting there holding up those hashtags. Remember that hashtag, bring back our girls? Remember that? It's like, it blew my mind. It's like, why are you showing me that? I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, what am I going to do to get those girls back? Why don't you look across the dinner table? It's like, you see that guy? That is the leader of the free world. Tell him to pick up a phone, call some Navy SEALs and solve it. What am I going to do? Show up with a sharpened mic stand? Hey, Michelle said to bring him back. Oh, it's unreal. I'll tell you what kills me. Hillary Clinton might run. She might run. That blows my mind. I mean, she became a senator. She went from being the president's wife to being a senator. Just like that. Lateral move. That's like Tom Brady's wife becoming the next quarterback of the Rams. It's like, what, you hanging out? You just pick it up? I sucked at sports, and then I banged Tom Brady, and I don't know what happened. I just picked up a ball. I started lacing it. I'm leading receivers. It was incredible. I knew it was going to be like this. You know what's funny? There's actually people out there that think a woman being president is actually a good idea. You know? Can you believe that? See that they do? That'll do something. That'll change things. How? How the is that going to change anything? Do you know what the president makes a year? The president makes $400,000 a year. That's it. He's trying to keep billionaires in line, making $400,000 a year. That's all he makes. He makes less than some people blogging on the internet. The president should have you money, right? He shouldn't be sitting there with his pockets turned and saying, I need your help to get me the job, right? What do you guys all donate to the campaign? Is that what it is? So I got a dog recently. That's a big thing in my life. I went down to the pound and I got a free dog. That's how I say it. I don't say I rescued a dog. All right, it's obnoxious and it's not true. Sick of people doing that. She's a rescue. Yeah, I rescued her. Really? Did you pull her out of a burning building? My girlfriend actually, to be honest with you, got the dog while I was traveling. I was in a different state. My girlfriend got us a dog. Classic female move, you know? That's just a 10 to 15-year commitment. Why would you include me in that decision?
do this because I don't want to have a job. I just like being able to fuck. Like, you know what I love about this interview right now? There's zero preparation. I don't have to do shit. I was watching the fucking Jets-Miami game last night. I had a couple of beers, hanging out with my dog. I had a great fucking time. There was no like, oh, I got this big meeting tomorrow. I got to hit my PowerPoints, graph how comedy exists. There's none of that. I just show up. I might have been the worst comic in the history. Like, first of all, I would get on stage. I was so nervous. I'd take the mic out of the mic stand, and I would immediately just start pacing.
Like a panther.
And it had like a nervous panther who got declawed and defanged. Yeah. And I was just walking back and forth, and my movement had nothing to do with what I was talking about. I can't even believe I got any laughs. I would just be like, yeah, so I was growing up, and my dad was crazy, and it was just like, it was like that thing, you know, the old carnival game where you try to shoot the duck.
Actually, Nerd Jesus died in the last year, right? Steve Jobs. Yeah, he died, right? I know, a lot of nerds here tonight. I know, you're sad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the big deal they made about that guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That was insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear. Right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know. I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys. See you in 8 years. Where you going, Michael? Big, little, get on it. Right? And all these people slave away to make his vision come true. And then they have the big nerd fest, right? Down there, Comic-Con, and all their nerd mecca. They're all showing up with their Acne and their Hulk shirts, limping into the arena, right? Does Steve Jobs go out with a whole chorus line of scientists? No, he goes out there by himself. Sneakers and no belt, like it was no biggie, right? like he's Tesla. Tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi. You think you're being healthy. You're eating your old rollerblades.
Bill Burr, comedian, baby. Made headlines in October 2000 and 2000 after controversial monologue. You know, man.
2000 and 2000, Mike, that's 2020.
Shit, nigga. Look, listen,
Those
man.
Brownsville schools, man.
Phil, tell me, man. But listen, right?
Colorado, he trains Rose Namajunas.
Kamaru is.
Kamaru
Oh,
Usman.
Rose Namajunas.
Do you love her?
I love her.
I love her too. When she,
I love all the USC female fighters. That's why I want my daughter to know how to know all of that stuff.
That'd be cool, huh?
When she meets a creep like you, she could choke you out.
Bro, I'm gonna say something, right? You walked up this fucking
Why are
drive.
you pointing at me? I came over here during rush hour to
I
do your
understand that,
podcast.
and I'm grateful that you're here.
Nothing but a red line the whole way over here.
For being
Oh,
vulnerable.
would you stop it? Like you
Yeah.
have some sort of psychology degree?
10 years in therapy.
So what? I've watched football for 40 years. I shouldn't be somebody's coach.
Do you remember when they lit up the puck for a few years on
Fox
TV?
News, yeah.
That was you guys.
Do you know? No, but the NHL.
Well,
No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Time out. Time out. The NHL is you guys too. So all the owners had to agree with that, and you all had to be like, we gotta like expand this thing.
we thought we'd funnel money into Canada and keep it here, but you guys took it over, like you tend to do. But
Well, I'm not going to apologize for that.
no, you're big on the
I mean, that's just business, dude. You're acting like we came and knocked you on the head. You know what we're about.
Wait
Wait a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a second. Fellow white person, not native to this country. How did you guys get this up here? Did the Native Americans go, oh, well, we like these white guys. You can have all that land. Jesus Christ.
No,
I get it. Your shit smells like maple syrup up here. Is that what you're telling me? All right.
really? Is that you in action, or is this another photo shot?
Yeah, it's a photo shoot. People do photo shoots.
Yeah, I know.
Have you ever seen like a movie poster and you'll see a movie star
I have.
who's clearly 5'2", yet somehow he's as tall as the supermodel?
I have.
Yeah, that's a photo shoot, and they fix stuff. Look, I'm sorry you're just on the web, man. You took it to, he took it to this place. I'm not trying to shit on his website. What is it called again? Huh? Zippitydoodah.com.
Because the older guys, Robert Kelly's and all that, they all call you Billy. Colin calls you Billy, but I fucking Bill.
I'm
you know
just
what I mean?
immediately noticing that I don't know about the chain if it's thick enough to be that level of confidence.
Yeah, well, but when
that's
the
more of a necklace.
when the chain's out,
he has on a fat chick ankle bracelet around his fucking neck. You have 9 different positions since you've started this sentence.
Yeah, because I've been training with Trevor Whitman.
Oh yeah,
with my footwork.
Yeah. Oh, Trevor Whitman. Oh my God.
Do you know him?
No.
The deepest couch in sports entertainment.
A lot of people think that they're uncomfortable with my elevation. Are you uncomfortable with it?
No, I just see all of your insecurities.
And I
giant desk.
You gush over your daughter. Not everyone gushes. Did your dad gush over you?
I mean, I was too little. Yeah, no, my dad actually at work did. At work, that's when I learned, like, oh my God, yeah, he really likes us. But when he came home, yeah, he was cracking the whip. Your bed mate? You do your studies? Well, why not? You know, it was that shit. And he also had a zillion kids, so I mean, yeah.
Really? How many siblings do you have?
I don't know, dude. The internet's too fucking weird to give out all that information.
Oh, you don't even want to say how many because you're afraid that it will somehow
by all means,
compromise
keep
your
talking
privacy.
about it. Is there any way you can cut this out? I'm honest, dude. Like,
seriously?
Yeah, no, dude. There's fucking lunatics out there.
Okay.
Whoa.
Off the air, I'll cut.
All right.
Jeez. I love how surprised he is. Jeez.
Well, you can mention the amount.
Absolutely crazy people.
Okay, yeah. No.
Are you in the
I
process?
cannot get comfortable in this fucking chair. This is just like one of the worst things. This should be like in a museum, is like the prototype. This is what, this was the awful level of comfort. We went from a log to this, and then eventually they got cushions. It's another guy looking at his phone. I swear to God. Dude, the day Jesus comes back, if he ever does, if he's even a real person, like 90% of people are going to miss it. They're going to walk right. He's going to be walking on water, and they're immediately walking by him. And not even...
I thought you were laughing. You were fucking yawning over here.
No, the mushrooms are fucking killing me, man. You know,
I knew
back
it
to
wasn't
that.
just weed. I was
Yeah.
just like, there's no way I'm taking a hit off of that. There's something going on here.
Mushrooms, baby. The shrooms. I'm shrooming.
You know how fucked up this is? He's shrooming, and he's wearing pants like he went riding a horse today. Like side saddle or some shit.
Man, don't be like my wife. My wife is like Dick Patrol, man. Don't be like checking out my fucking tight pants and shit.
Like, I love how you came at me aggressive, and now you're going, you got your those little panda hands
I was. I love how you attacked my little panda hand.
That's
Let
what
me-
you look like. You look like a little panda.
I know. I was just because when you took your hat
like
off.
a little adolescent bear.
At some point, I was going to make a point here. That's why I keep looking at here, and I just realize I'm blocking myself out of the camera. I love that you have the jib camera for this, like it's an action movie. Let's swoop in at these two guys sitting in these unbelievably small chairs. I literally feel like I'm going to fall onto the floor. This is insane. You really went all out with the audience, though. They got full-size adult chairs. Are these like from the 20s before they had like horse tranquilizers in our food, when everybody was like 5'1"? Yeah,
So your Christian background is part of the show. Or at
Yes,
least
and
two
I wanted
episodes.
to talk to you about Jesus after this.
Well, the only reason why I bring it up is some people thought maybe you went a little too far. You know.
As far as what?
Well, they thought that maybe you were being disrespectful to the Christian religion.
Who did?
I'm telling you, you need to Google.
Oh, good Lord.
So did you feel you were
probably
being disrespectful, or just you were just having fun with some of the crucifixes and stuff like that?
I don't even know what I mean, we did maybe two jokes about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think the Catholic Church went a little too far? More so than my cartoon.
All right, listen.
A couple of jokes. I know this is a morning show. You can't bring up all those crimes.
You know what? Technically,
Well, they just sort of kept moving them around. You know, like those killer whales at SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
all right, I'm not totally following, but I don't
You
think I
know
want
what
to.
I'm talking about. It's a morning show. I understand.
I like it. Thank you for
I
being
came on.
positive.
That kid
Positive.
missed the graduation, and then it was a feel-good story.
It was a feel good, and we want to leave.
If you want to feel good about America, you watch the morning shows. You don't watch this, you know.
And
we were
watch-
joking earlier. If that kid's story about the graduation was late night, that would have been a whole different story.
What do you think?
He's still missing. We can't find him. All we found was his hat. But you watch in the morning. It's great. It all worked out. He got his own personal graduation. Like, I was in such a great mood. Look how yellow this couch is.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to take your dick out at work when you're at home. You know? Some people still manage to do it. They're on a Zoom call, no pants on. All of a sudden standing up, their junk right in the screen. Still figured out a way to get fired. It was unreal. It's kind of good, though, that, you know, those creeps got to take a break, because I felt like cancel culture, they were kind of running out of people to cancel, you know? As much as they wanted to make it seem, there really was a finite amount of people that took their dick out at work, despite the stats, right? Every 1.6 seconds, somebody takes their dick out and shakes it in a woman's face in a cubicle. You're like, what? Every 1.6 seconds? I must not have been paying attention. Every 3.2 seconds, some man jizzes on a bird and rubs it in a woman's face. Holy shit! I didn't know that happened, right? Yeah, so fortunately, they rounded up all of these fucking animals and they got rid of them, right? But it kind of became like this cottage industry, and it was a way to kind of get rid of some men that maybe were in your way, you know? It's like anything. It always, like, you know, the initial thing, you agree with it, and then it kind of gets out of control. So, I don't know. They kind of ran out of people. There was this kind of hilarious moment, like last year, where they started to try and cancel, like, dead people. Remember that? All of a sudden, out of nowhere, like, John Wayne was trending. I'm like, what, they got some found footage? You got a new movie coming out that maybe they shelved? And all of a sudden, there was all these stupid-ass woke white people right? Oh my God, did you see what John Wayne said in Playboy in 1971? There's a bunch of fucking white people all up in arms about a dead white guy. I can no longer tolerate this. I can no longer tolerate dead for 45 years, John Wayne, saying things in a magazine that doesn't exist anymore. I am here for black people. These fucking idiots. What kind of a fucking idiot white person refers to themselves as woke? You know, if you actually were socially conscious, you'd realize that white people stole that word from black people. Once again, doing the Elvis thing, right? But you know what? I blame black people for that. One of them fucked up. They were at a party, there was white people there, and they let it slip out. Stay woke, however the fuck you say it. Some white person heard it like, oh, who is that? Oh my God. Stay woke? I want to say that. I gotta say that around my white friends so they know that I'm down. Oh my God, I'm gonna fucking say that. Fucking woke. I'm fucking woke. I'm a woke signaler. I fucking had it. I've had it. I support black people in my white apartment on Twitter. That's what I do. I'm fucking here for you. Every white person likes to lie to themselves that they were alive, 150 years ago, that they would have been working on the Underground Railroad, trying to help slaves escape, right? I would have been one of the good white people. I would have taken time out of my day, risked my life. And the reality is you'd be doing back then exactly what you're doing today. Nothing. Not a fucking thing. Maybe a little hashtag, Black Lives Matter. Oh my God, my heart breaks on my L-shaped couch. My favorite thing about the Black Lives Matter marches was the store windows that would have the plywood over the windows, and then it would say Black Lives Matter on top of the plywood. I just love the duality of that message, It's like, Black Lives Matter, we're all the same, we're all one. Don't burn down my store, you fucking animals. Everybody is welcome in this store. Anyone can come in, one at a time, follow him. It's just a safe space for everyone. Yeah. John Wayne was born in 1907. That's what the fuck he's gonna sound like. Then you got all these douchebags going like, that's not an excuse. It's like, yes it is. It absolutely is. You are of your time. Look at these young kids. Remember that for like a year and a half? They take a water bottle. They're all standing around, and one kid would flip it, and if it landed upright, they'd lose. Oh, shit! They just lose their fucking minds. Oh. I didn't understand it, but I'm born in 1968, so I'm just like, all right, well, no one tried to slap it out of the way, You do it enough times, it's gonna fucking land upright. What is happening here, right? I didn't want to ruin their good time, They were excited. They're going to get on their scooters and ride off. Like a little posse or some shit. I'm like, all right, you can do that. Yeah. So that was like the thing for like half a second. Sean Connery died. The great Sean Connery. Yeah, my favorite James Bond of all time. Yeah, and he was getting a proper send-off for about 8 minutes on Twitter. And then the first hairy-legged white chick shows up, right? And she's just got to be like, yeah. Are we really going to celebrate this man who advocated the hitting of women? It's like, first of all, he didn't advocate hitting women, okay? He just said, every once in a while, you give him a little slap. You got to give him a little back in the hand to remind him who's making the box office. Reset their hard drive. That's all he said, okay? Yes, it's a crazy statement in 2021. 1976, it's not good, but it's not crazy. Right? And he's born in 1930. You gotta put the shit in historical perspective. You ever watch, I love old movies. You ever watch movies from the 30s, 40s, and 50s? Yeah. Anytime a woman even has heightened emotion, there's some guy like, get a hold of yourself, baby. Yeah, go make me a pie. Put it on the windowsill. Right? That's what he grew up watching. I grew up in the 70s. I thought being a truck driver was a cool thing. You know, you had a monkey for a friend. You going around, chicks showing their titties. I thought that was the world. I had no idea. That's what I was watching. My thing is okay, so if you're going to cancel all of these fucking dead guys, and you're going to shit all over them after they're dead and they can't defend themselves, why are you only going after men? You know, what about all the horrible women in history? You can't just go after the men. That would be sexist. And this is what they don't want. You know? I mean, what about Coco Chanel? Great example. Coco Chanel, widely considered a feminist icon. She started her own purse factory, right? The 19-teens or 20s, whatever the hell she did. I can't imagine the sexism that she had to deal with, you know? Evidently, what happened was, in World War II, old Adolf came rolling into town, okay, with his tanks with the Porsche engines in them, took over the town in like fucking 90 minutes. She freaked out. She closes up her shop, right? Figured out where all the head Nazis were staying, what hotel. She moved in there, and she started a relationship with one of the Nazis. Yeah. She started fucking a Nazi. You ever seen those Holocaust videos? Huh, with those piles of kid shoes? Yeah. She was sucking the dick that did that. Now, just to refresh my memory, what did Sean Connery do again? Oh, you know, every once in a while you give him a little slap. That's what he did. She's sitting there like, hey, Adolf, what's going on? She so sold out her own country, she had to flee it at the end of the war. And I have no idea how many dicks she had to suck to get back in it. But I'll tell you, despite all of that, I still don't judge her. I don't. Because I've never been in that situation. You know, I've never been in a country where all of a sudden the most powerful army the world has ever seen comes in and takes it over in a couple hours. She must have been terrified, right? And she's a woman. You know, she's into fashion. They show up with those Hugo Boss uniforms. You know, her knees buckle a little bit. Things start getting ugly. People are getting shot in the street. She's freaking out. You know. And she's a woman. And women know, push comes to shove. When you get your back against the wall, no matter how bad it gets, they always have the option of fucking their way out of a situation. They always got that card they can play, right? All women know this. All women know this. Men don't realize this till they go to prison. But women learn this early on. She had the option, and she took it. I can't get mad at her for that, you know? So she's dead and gone. I think she's up there in heaven. I think she made it. She's up there with Sean Connery. Every once in a while they have a disagreement. He gives a little slap, you know? She doesn't care. Once you shit on a Nazi's chest, I mean, a little backhand's not going to freak you out. Jesus can't say anything. He got a hooker, right? Everybody's got a little something they did. There you go. So, still buy your Coco Chanel. She's still a hero. She was the victim. She was the victim of that time. She was frightened. She was scared. She didn't know what to do. Anyway. So, we're living in a fucking weird time. Obviously, beyond all the bullshit that's going on now. Like, every time I think feminism has kind of like died off, you know? You know, like a band you can't stand, and you just, they haven't put out an album in a few years. You're like, oh, good. Did they quit? Did they break up? And all of a sudden they come out with some more shit. You're like, ah, oh, fuck, what is it now? I'm just fucking with you. Feminism doesn't bug me, you know? It doesn't bother me. I'm not afraid of it or anything like that. You know, for the simple fact that I know it's going to fail, you know? And I take comfort in that. I do. I'm not rooting for it because I know it doesn't like me. Yeah. Do you know why I think it's not going to survive? Why it's not going to be successful anyways? Because they still need men's help to make it happen. I don't understand it. I don't understand why women just can't work with each other and make this shit happen. They keep coming to us like, you more men need to care about this issue. Where are the men to stand up and say something? Like, why do I have to fucking say something? This is your fucking problem. Why are you always dragging us into this shit? I saw a woman a couple months back, professional soccer player, right? She goes on to ESPN or one of these sports channels, and she starts bitching, going like, I don't understand, how come female athletes don't make as much as male professional athletes? Right? And all of these men had to sit there and act like they didn't know what the answer was. They had to sit there like dumbfounded, like, I don't know. Why is that? That is a conundrum. I have no idea. Literally, I'm sitting at home screaming at the TV because you don't sell any fucking tickets. Nobody's going to women's soccer games. You're playing in a 20,000 seat arena. 1,500 people show up. That's not a good night. The promoter lost his fucking ass on that gig. I'm not saying no professional female athletes, Serena Williams, the women in the UFC, you know, but nobody's watching your fucking sport. And then you're going to come and you're going to get mad at fucking men. They keep doing that shit. Why are you yelling at us? It's not our fucking job. It's not my fucking job to give a fuck about women's soccer, okay? I have men's sport to pay attention to. It's your bullshit, right? Dude, look at the WNBA. Dude, nobody in the WNBA got COVID. Nobody. They've been playing in front of 300 to 400 people a night for a quarter of a century. Not to mention, it's a male-subsidized league. We gave you a fucking league. None of you showed up. Where are all the feminists? That place should be packed with feminists. Faces painted, wearing jerseys, flashing their titties. Going fucking nuts like the guys do. In the upper deck with their big beard titties. Am I on the Jumbotron? Am I doing it? Yeah. You didn't. None of you went to the fucking games. None of you. You failed them. Not me. Not men. Women failed the WNBA. Ladies, name your top 5 all-time WNBA players of all time. Come on. That's it. Name 5 WNBA teams. Name the WNBA team in your fucking city. You can't do it. You don't give a fuck about them. They play night in and night out in front of nobody. It's a fucking tragedy. Right? And then meanwhile, you look at the Kardashians. They're making billions. You look at those Real Housewives shows, they're making money hand over fist, because that's what women are watching. And the money listens. You don't want to watch this shit? You're watching this shit? They just shoot it over there, drowning these whores in money.